When a man moves in with a woman, he has it so much better than she does. First of all, she keeps the place immaculate, right? It smells like flowers and lotions.
Depends on the woman.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Some days I smell like cucumber melon. Other days I smell like an old dirty seagull.
Yeah, my husband might disagree about keeping it immaculate around the house.
Well, when you guys moved in together, though, right?
Yeah.
All right. He was living in one place, you were living in the other. Right?
Yeah.
When he would come over to your place to visit, I'm assuming that place was in better shape than what he was living in.
No.
She talks about this all the time. You guys' first date, you wanted to make out, but there was so many clothes on the bed, right?
It wasn't our first date. It was like the first, like we were going to be intimate at my house, and we got to the room. He literally had to like walk over clothes, and I had to take the giant pile of clothes off the bed so we could do anything.
Was that the clean pile or the dirty pile?
Hell if I know.
Yeah.
Who even knows anymore?
No, man.
All right. Well, for the most part.
He knew what he was marrying. He can't complain now.
All right, we've had two different experiences. In my experience, my place was always the one that was a mess. You know, there was algae growing in the shower, and then I'd go over to her place, and it was immaculate. All the new soaps and shampoos and conditioners. Women just have it better than dudes do. So when a guy takes your stuff, you better either replace it or use it properly, right? And the expensive stuff could really set you off if he's using that. Specifically, this Dyson hairdryer that has been we've talked about a lot on the Bert Show. Cassie wants to know if this dude or the wife is being the a-hole when it comes to the hairdryer.
35-year-old man here. My wife bought herself this awesome hairdryer from Dyson last month, and she paid over $400 for it. And Davi, I think you have this too. You did a GoFundMe for it on the show, right?
I did. I got the gold-plated one, so it was $600. But it came with a nice carrying case.
And it was
That made it worth it.
It was how much?
Like $600,
Yeah.
like with shipping and taxes.
And I
all
made
that.
fun of her so much, and then ended up getting one for my fiance, and it is glorious.
It's a game changer
Yeah.
to this day, and it has paid for itself in so many ways.
Dude, that thing dries your hair in about a millisecond.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, he says he agrees. He says, this is easily the coolest hairdryer I've ever seen. It's silver and purple, so not gold-plated. Clearly he's poor. And has this really cool design. Reminds me of the plasma rifle from Halo, which is a video game.
Oh, God, it does.
It's true, man.
It's super quiet as well. You can dry your hair in stealth mode. I was so impressed by this dryer that I asked my wife if I could use it too. She said I could use it whenever I wanted, and that it was good that I use it to better get our money's worth. So I started using it every morning after my shower to dry my hair instead of just towel and air drying it like I used to. I have short hair, so it only took like a minute to dry. Still felt like I wasn't getting much use out of it, so I started experimenting. I tried drying my armpits, making applying deodorant much nicer, and I started drying down below. Side note, 100% do recommend.
Yes.
Without going into much detail, it just feels a lot more hygienic throughout the day.
Question: is there a cool setting on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can alternate between like three settings. No, it's amazing. There's 3 settings for heat, so you get like you won't damage your hair, and you can go. And then there's 3 settings for speed, with which it just like, you know. And then there's the cold setting.
Okay.
Is the cold setting really good? Because I'd buy it just for that. Because sometimes when I straighten my hair, I start sweating, so I have to break out the hair dryer with the cold hair to get the under boob sweat.
Yes,
I know I'm not the
It's
only
all
one.
amazing. I'm so mad Dyson doesn't pay me. It makes me so angry every day. But they don't pay nobody. Like everybody has to pay for their
The
stuff.
product is so good.
Yes.
They're like, no, you're going to buy it anyway.
You like it.
We're not
You
giving
know
you
you
one
want
for
it.
it. Right.
So he writes, this morning my wife walked into the bathroom after my shower and saw something perhaps she wasn't meant to see. For the record, I did not intend for her to come in, but I didn't have the door locked. I had 1 foot on the floor and 1 foot on the counter.
The old Captain Morgan.
Wait.
Wow. Really?
On the floor and on the counter.
Yeah.
That is a limber man.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lunge if I've ever seen one.
Hair dryer in hand, pointed towards Venus and Earth.
Nice.
I may have also been humming the Halo theme.
Why?
My wife had a bit of a freak out and was like, what are you doing? I stopped and reminded her that she said I could use the dryer whenever I wanted. She countered with saying that she didn't say I could use it that way. So I'm not sure if my wife has a point here. I definitely didn't explicitly state how I was going to use the dryer, but there was no conversation on limitations beforehand. Am I the a-hole?
No, I mean, because he's just drying himself down there. It's not like he's, assuming, not rubbing himself all over it.
Yeah, it's not touching the dryer.
Yeah.
Man's the a-hole.
The man's the a-hole.
Yes.
Okay.
Anytime I got to walk in the bathroom and look at you doing the Captain Morgan and singing Halo with something I purchased for my head, that makes you the a-hole.
No, it does not. They are together. They live together. What's mine is yours, and that thing is using space age technology. Use it on your balls. Like it's fine to use. I think Mr. Dyson intended for it to be used there. And if she's pretending like she doesn't use it on her coot from time to time, just to get really like sanitary, she's lying.
I feel like it's unnecessary for a dude. Our parts aren't nearly as complicated.
Yeah, you don't. You can kind of air dry, whereas sometimes women need a little help, so there's not too much moisture in there.
Right.
They do this in the gym locker rooms all the time.
Dudes do.
Yes, they hang from the ceilings and put their feet on the counters and dry off. I don't get just walk around. I don't get it.
That's different. For some reason, like if my husband did it, I'm like, I know you just got out of the shower, you're clean, you're good. But in a gym locker room, I'm like, I don't know how well you wash.
That's
Exactly.
why I don't go to the gym anymore. I saw a woman using like the community dryer on her junk. And I was like, that's fine. I'm just not going to come here anymore.
I think that's why I made him the a-hole, because I'm triggered. I see it in the gym too much.
I don't know. Final vote here is the dude being an a-hole.
No.
No, she is.
Yes.
Most
The Bert Show.